guys to yet another episode of Gearhaus. This is season 2, episode 9. Episode 9. Na leo tuko na another overlander. We have Mr. Kim, aka Alpha Landrover.
Yes.
I think one of the most traveled Land Rovers in the world.
If you say so. Not sure about that.
He tries to be very humble about it.
Yeah.
I try.
Even if it's not the most traveled Land Rover globally,
But then in Africa,
or
it
Kenya,
definitely-
it definitely is.
in Kenya for sure.
Yeah. Ushepeleka Land Rover yako UK. Labda imetoka
UK.
UK. You went to the UK.
No, I'm asking, nani mwingine amepeleka UK?
Na amepeleka di Norway. You went to Norway as well?
Yeah, I went to Norway.
To the
possibly, yeah.
topmost part of
Yeah, when you
Europe.
narrow it down to Kenya, then
You're probably the most
the
traveled.
most traveled. In Africa, possibly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really, it's possible.
Mm.
He's been to the Cape, he's been to West Africa, he's been to North Africa.
yeah, of course, it's at different points. I think it was, a trip at a time.
Yeah.
I definitely can't afford to be away all that time.
We'll get to
We'll
that.
get it, yeah. Yeah, but anyway, before we go to Alpha, we have news.
Give us
Nyanza ama
the
uanze?
news. Give us the news.
Give us
Mine
the
is a story.
This is a story.
Yes.
News. So Skoda is it's a German brand, but the cars are made in the Czech Republic
Yeah.
under the VAG group.
Hmm.
So Skoda broke the world record for the most distance traveled on a single tank of fuel. I don't know if you saw that story.
Yes.
The Skoda Superb 2-liter TDI. The thing did 2,800 kilometers,
Yeah, like 30 something kilometers per liter.
34 kilometers per liter.
Yeah.
Because the guy did 2,800 kilometers and the tank is about 66 liters.
You can't relate.
Still at the beginning of
You can't relate. What's the most you do on your tank?
I think that's anyway. I mean, I would be interested to see how that works out.
Yeah.
But a story for another time. I actually met I think must have been the first Skoda to do overlanding. I met a Skoda which is purely electric, and they were traveling from Netherlands. They actually came all the way to Kenya.
I
South
remember.
Africa.
I remember you posted when you were going to West Africa.
Yeah.
That's when you
Yes.
met them.
Yes. When I was going up, they were coming down.
Yeah.
So yeah, Skoda must be doing something right.
And beyond that, he says he doesn't think the car was even doing as good as it would.
Yep.
I would have done better.
Could have done better. He actually says if he could have used premium diesel, the car would have gone for longer.
Yes.
And the funniest thing, by the way, the guy who was driving is a rally driver.
He is. And that's a thing. But you find that rally drivers tend to have not a light foot, but very good throttle control.
Yep.
Because you actually need it, especially when you're navigating funny patches.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I believe that's why he was quite well suited to be the one doing that.
So basically, you're saying if we tried, we would run out of talent at about
Before
1,000
you
kilometers.
run out of fuel,
It's surprising if you're saying you'd have done even more than that.
Yeah.
Because that's quite extreme.
It's quite extreme.
Yeah.
I think he's targeting to do 3,000 kilometers now.
3,000.
Yeah.
So that converts to what?
Probably
3,000 by
41 or
66.
Yeah, 40 something kilometers per liter, possibly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But 41.
That's
On a
interesting.
non-electric. Does it have a hybrid?
No,
It's pure.
It's
Actually, that was my question.
It's
I
a
thought
nice.
there should be an hybrid at some point
No.
for them to achieve such a
It's a
milestone.
It's an ICE.
ICE
internal
2-liter
combustion.
diesel, turbo diesel.
Mm.
Yeah.
Also-
Diesel to the world.
Yes. Ye manufacturers
Yeah.
of terrible electricity things.
Yeah. Second piece of news. Toyota.
They're back again.
They're back again. Toyota is always in the news. Toyota have decided to kill the Mark V Supra. So for those who know, the Mark V Supra is the one that's shares a platform with the BMW Z4.
Yes.
So it comes with the engine of the gods, the B58, which everyone loves. And then in a Toyota.
In a Toyota body.
Yeah.
So reliability of the Toyota with
Yeah.
the performance of the BMW.
Of the BMW. And there have been rumors that Toyota really insisted on strengthening the components of that B58 engine. And that's why actually people say the B58 engine is actually the most reliable, one of the most reliable BMW engines ever made.
But then you see, why do maybe it's from the consumer perspective, but why do you think all these big manufacturers try to drop such a eye-selling.
Yeah. So
There must be something under the sleeve.
So
there must be something.
For the Supra, the sales have been going down. When it came out, the sales were really, really good.
Yeah.
But slowly every year they're selling less.
But I think
and
it's
less
more
and
of
less.
it's a cost issue for me, if you ask. So initially, the enthusiasts went for it. So the sales, of course, will spike.
Skyrocket. Yeah.
But as you're running out of enthusiasts, and now you start coming to regulars, they can't buy as many Supras as you'd want because the price point is not.
Yeah, but I also
it's not a
think
cheap car.
they will definitely not really a replacement, but they will have something just to
something
fit
to
in that
fit
car.
in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
And I don't see you dealing a Supra, at least not for majority of the people
No.
that would buy them.
Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted.
No wonder I said for the majority, because I knew you would say that. Give it to me.
Mimi,
Any day.
Mimi na kina Trevor Mbarani na Kim hapa same side. We daily enthusiast cars.
Drive that fan car.
Drive the fan car.
Yeah. Not the efficient, not the fan.
No,
the
just
fan car.
enjoy it, man.
Yeah.
Have it every day.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. That's the motto. Yeah, that's the motto, bana.
Yeah.
Munus.
Mine is less of news and more of a story. So 2022, there was this ship that sank, and it had mostly supercars. It had Bentleys, it had Audis, Porsches, and it was called, I think, the Felicity. So what happened is, among the vehicles that were neat, there were 15 Lamborghini Aventador Ultimas. Basically, it was like the last nice V12 Lambo. Now, before they started deciding they're going to put hybrids and all those things. So that was the V12, the very nice one. So all these vehicles were actually customer purchases. They were actually not showroom cars. They were heading to customers. So I guess guys were compensated. However, those 15 Ultimas, I mean, they were the last ones from the factory. So, of course, you can imagine, as much as you're being told, oh, we'll give you back your money, you're like, it wasn't about the money.
I was getting the last
last of the
non-hybrid
grades.
V12 Lamborghini.
Exactly. And it's not that it's cheap. I mean, it's like $500,000. But still, you're like, that was the one I wanted.
Yeah.
So recently, I think early this year, Lambo said they will actually build another 15 just for those guys.
Great customer service. That's good customer service.
That customer must be very,
Very lucky, yeah.
yeah.
But Lambo tends to do that. There was gamble recently when Akina DDE, Mr. JWW did a run from Turkey, Istanbul to, they say Ibiza, but I call it Ibiza in Spain.
Yes.
So they drove across, and then JWW's Lamborghini developed a serious oil leak, and then DDE's Lamborghini locked up. Literally, he's driving the car, the wheels lock up on the road.
It wouldn't move. It was just
Wouldn't move. So when he later took the car to Lamborghini, the customer service was amazing, because I watched the video.
Yeah.
He was taken through the factory. He was given a customer Lambo for use, and not just any Lambo. He was given a Revolto to use as his car is being repaired. Great customer service, Lamborghini.
Yeah. I mean, you cannot say that about a lot of companies.
Yeah.
Of course, but they serve a niche market.
A niche,
I mean,
yes,
they,
yeah.
they just have to get to that level.
Yeah.
I would want to be such a customer.
And again,
Because then they treat you.
they treat you well.
Yeah.
Because even DD is a big name on YouTube. So if
He
DD
is, yeah.
talks badly about Lamborghini and Lamborghini
And he
experience,
influences heavily
Yeah.
purchases of those cars. Because you see, like for him, he almost daily drives his Lambos.
Yeah.
So I think if I was a manufacturer, I would treat him the same way. I would be. Yeah. So you would not guess what is currently the most expensive vehicle in the world.
Is it a Ferrari 250 GTO?
No. No, Ivan. Al will be watching this and will be like, it was. No. So the most expensive vehicle, actually, it was sold in auction this year. German.
Real value or
Well,
out of a knock? because an auction can
be
I hope
a
it's-
charity auction.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, not charity. It was actually,
Real value.
I don't think it's real. It's more of sentimental value.
Yeah, maybe.
So it was basically a 1954 Mercedes-Benz W 196R Strom Lienwagen. It was sold for $60 million.
We're in Germany. Where's that?
It wasn't sold in Germany. However, the reason why it's so expensive, this vehicle was driven by both Sterling Moss and
Makes sense now.
what's his name? Juan Manuel Fangio, the F1 guy. So it's been owned and driven by both legends at different points.
Yeah, those are legends, man.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes
yeah,
sense.
those are
So
absolute legends.
It had insane sentimental value going for it.
Interesting.
Compared to the newest, most expensive vehicle, which is the Bugatti something. What's it called? The Brulade.
I have
Yes. Going for $20 million.
hiyo ni ala atakuja hapa tuambie hizo maneno za mabugatti.
Ndio mtu wa Bugatti.
atakuja tuambie hapa sijui Bugatti gani alafu tu
Going for $20 million. So
tuangalie hivi.
yeah. But that's it. That's the news.
Okay.
Yeah. And now, Kim, over to you.
So unamwacha
No,
I
nataka ajiintroduce. I'm like,
sasa mwambie hivyo.
put your intro.
Unajua anaweza kutuambia
Naweza kupigia story
atume salamu.
tofauti.
Over to you. Atume salamu
Sema
Machakos.
But unajua kwanza maybe he has western blood in him, atasema asante sana kwa huu wakati, ningependa kusalimia. Introduce yourself. I don't think we can do you justice, so
Yeah, that's when you try to introduce yourself, then you have to find some limits and some context. Yeah, but as I said, actually, most people call me Alpha because that's what they know. Yesterday was someone called me because they saw my car somewhere. Then of course they're a good friend, so I had this banter with them that you can't even remember to call me. You only remember me when you see the car. Like, which one comes first? But yeah, my name is Kim Musau, aka Alpha Landrover. Yes. What else should I say? I of course I'm in business. I do my own family business. But that's besides. Should I say that's besides the point? That's besides the
Besides the topic today.
that's the point besides the other point.
Yes.
Kuongelea biashara tena kwa ile podcast ya watu wa biashara.
Watu wa biashara.
So yeah, I travel not in the most common way. I travel by driving. Of course, I travel by other means, which it's also besides the point. So, yeah, but yeah, I am an overlander. I travel around the world using my Land Rover. It's a Land Rover Defender 110. Year is 1998 manufacture. So now it's turning what? It's actually 1997. If I remember the month correctly, the year of manufacture. So now we are talking of
28 years old, yeah.
28, which is very interesting. Actually, there are some years you want your car to get past. I mean, I didn't know this before. But for example, when I was traveling in Europe, you are allowed to go to the green zone. The green zones are basically where you are, because my car doesn't meet any emissions standards.
The eco areas.
Yes, it's terrible. So, but actually they say if your car is more than 30 years, you are allowed.
Oh, really?
You have a free ticket to, of course, within some specific timelines. And
so you can get into London without issue.
You can get into any green zone. Of course, there are few restrictions here and there, but they basically allow because they consider you a vintage vehicle. So I'm two years away.
2 years
shy
of a green zone.
Enjoying that.
When you get into one, anyway, say that, and then the green guys will come for me. So it's okay. Yeah. You take it into the green zone. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's more about me, and of course I don't know whether I should get into more details. I'm not very technical.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
My car is a Land Rover. I mean, we'll get into the details.
This guy is always. He's the one guy who's always dissing Land Rovers.
I mean, he started.
He's not even waiting for you to get into the studio.
After tukiwa pale chini hapa nje tu, I was asking him, in a leak oil.
See?
Because at least he knows it has oil. That's
You can
the only way.
trail him. You can tell
Where I
Peter
passed
hapa.
through.
Like I'm sure the parking down there is gonna be a mess.
Ni sawa tu. I think we are used. We
Mezoea.
ni sawa tu.
No, mezoea kutroliwa ama
You
mezoea
know they
leak oil.
say,
Now you're making it worse.
I can't remember which boxer used to say, you only know you're alive if you're bleeding. So that's how
The same way.
Yeah.
We only know the car's oil if it's leaking.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean,
it
if
has
it's,
enough.
if it doesn't
I mean,
leak, then how do you know it has oil?
Exactly. So it's part of the character.
Let me ask, why Land Rover? You know, Land Rovers are fantastic for my fours. I absolutely love how they look. I love the heritage. I love what they stand for. But those cars are extremely uncomfortable. Especially.
Come on, they are not.
They are.
No, they are not.
They're fine.
You
Today
can't
you are
even
alone.
fit.
Look,
Look at who's talking.
I think people get to anyway. Yeah, people say it looks like what like a museum kind of a thing because of the way it looks. But is it uncomfortable? Maybe I'm used to that extreme, eh? But how
I'm sure you sit with one arm outside and then with umeshikilia steering hivi.
But that part of the AC, so you need the window.
Yeah, it's the AC.
It's the AC.
It's the AC, yeah?
Yeah.
Fresh from the breeze.
Actually, no. I don't think there's a lot of vehicles that have those flaps at
In
the
the
front
front,
of the windscreen
yeah.
to just let you have real AC.
Yes.
But then in the rain, that's pointless.
But then you don't need the AC.
No, but what do
In
you
the
mean? It's
rain, well,
pointless.
you don't.
No, because you know what is going to come in.
No, it can't
Yeah,
come
but
in. I
you
mean, the
close
flaps are like, I mean, it's like vents in your windows. When the vents are like, so if it's raining, you don't need to close those vents in your house windows. You have those glass
still
vents.
But
Because
then
it's
what about bugs and insects?
It has a mesh.
There's
a mesh.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
It's good engineering. Come on. So this is
thought about
engineering
it.
which is as old as, you know.
I always assumed utakuwa drive hivi kanzi kanaingia.
So you say you should include, you know, keep your mouth shut.
when you're in the Land Rover.
Yes. Yeah, but I mean, I think sometimes I believe some of the things we choose in life, they sometimes it's hard to say why such a decision.
Yeah.
To be honest, because you're sort of looking for a character that you like. I mean, you have had people say if you don't park your car and turn back when you're walking, or then
You
you're
bought the
not-
wrong car.
Like you don't care.
You don't care. It's not the car you want
want
to
it.
have.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's that kind of a relationship. My daily drive is still a Land Rover anyway. So it's that kind of a relationship with the Land Rover.
It's got that
I know you don't like
money.
that.
I love Land Rovers, by the way, but I like looking at them. That's where it ends.
They're good cars. But anyway, I mean, to be serious also,
Yeah.
for an overlanding person like I am doing, you look at, of course, other practical things. You need space.
Yep.
I mean, you all can mention the other close cars that have such space. Of course, they're there. But I mean, you have to, there's some of them which you basically disqualify because you need space. But the Land Rover also allows you to, especially the 110, it allows you to build a lot of things around it. Most of the modern cars, you basically you feel like you're spoiling your toy.
Yeah.
But for the Land Rover 110, when you're adding things, it's actually more fun. You don't feel like, oh, I'm punching holes here and there. But for this one, I mean, it's basically very practical for what we
have
do.
holes.
Yeah, I think there are many reasons, including being able to have it repaired anyway. Any
garage.
Any garage, basically. I mean, the Land Rover actually initially was made for the British Army. You know,
The original ones.
so when you take it to the bush and something happens, I mean, you have had people run it on some cooking oil, and it will just run. It doesn't necessarily need diesel.
Yeah.
So is that basic? Especially now, I'm running one of the oldest engines,
The
of
200
course,
TDI.
the 200 TDI, which is a much older
True
engine
mechanic.
than the 300. The 300 TDI is actually after the 200 TDI. So
Actually,
yes.
I'm sure very few people have seen even a 200. Most guys, I think, have only seen the 300. Because unless you've
The
been to
300.
the old garages where they still have,
Yes, the 200.
it's very hard for you
Yeah.
to find a 200.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
By the way, when, like, before Alpha, were you overlanding? Were you out there? Or was it one of those decisions where you were like, I need to go out there. I'm buying a Land Rover tomorrow.
I think the story started a long time ago, but it didn't necessarily start with overlanding. But they started to do something which is more outdoorish, to be out there. Before the Land Rover, I used to hike a lot. I usually, maybe I'm wrong on this, but I usually tell people there's no single mountain I haven't climbed around here. From the ones people go on a day hike, so every Saturday for me, a few years back was I'm on a hike, maybe skip one Saturday, try to, squeeze some other family things in that Saturday, then the other one I'm out hiking. Of course, the big ones. I've done Mount Kenya, I've done Kilimanjaro, I've done the Rwenzori in Uganda. Yes, so around here I did all that. Then back then I didn't have the Land Rover. Maybe then I think
You are the Land Rover.
looks like with on a back, carrying a backpack.
With your backpack.
Yeah. So then a few years after that, then I started, thinking, this is something interesting to do. And the first thought was getting to Cape Town driving. Then, of course, I had been to Cape Town. So the idea was not just going to Cape Town. I mean, I had been to Cape Town enough times, but I was like, what? But why can't I just drive there? And then, of course, you have this thing where you create a reason. Oh, I want to go to Cape Town to watch rugby sevens. And I want to drive to, then why can't you fly?
No, this is the wife who's being educated. Why you need to go to Cape Town?
Nakwambia familia. This rugby.
That's my package.
Tunaenda.
And I want to carry stuff.
Yeah. I'll save on accommodation.
I don't have to pay for accommodation.
Yes, I just need to budget for fuel only. Imagine I can sleep in the car.
I even cook in the car.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It does.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I think that was the initial, and that was around 2015. And back then, if you remember, when was World Cup in South Africa? World Cup was in 2010.
Yes,
2010, yeah.
So initially, around 2010, anyway, people say the car you want to drive, you see it on the road every time. So for me, after 2010, I saw a lot of people driving to South Africa. I don't know why. Maybe it was just the interest. So in there, I come across, there are some guys who went to the World Cup on a fielder. Was it a fielder or something?
Even
they had 3 punchers and...
Even the photographer called Moav.
Moav went a bit later. That was quite later.
He went
later with that Subaru.
He went post World Cup.
Post World Cup.
But the hype was still there.
The hype. So basically, I'm talking of that 2010. With my thoughts of wanting to start overlanding, wanting to first go to Cape Town. Actually, it was the only thing I was thinking about. I can drive to Cape Town. So 2010 to around 2015. It was like, this one, several people went. There are guys who went for the World Cup, driving, the smallest of the car. I think I remember a few which had like 3 punchers before they came back. There's that. I remember now Marv went post-World Cup. I know there's a Land Rover, 2 Land Rovers which went around. It's still the same time. Then I was like, oh, it can be done. Yeah, but of course, it was so
came back, you're like,
it's possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then you decided after Cape Town, you want to go.
You won't stop.
You won't stop. Like, you went to Cape Town, came back, you're like, I have an
My
itch.
God.
I must go somewhere else.
Itchy tires.
You're looking at the map and you're like, this is Cape of Good Hope. I've been here. Wait, there's Cairo. I should drive there.
Yeah.
And create a reason to be there.
To go to Cairo.
So now what was the excuse to go to Cairo? Okay, now you don't have a World Cup.
So actually, initially, and this is what basically happens when I never knew I would be traveling. Maybe I should say this for me. I travel solo most of my trips.
Yeah.
Of course, I had a buddy who used to drive along, of course, with his own vehicle.
The late
Yes, the late Nani.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. So when I was flying 2015, now when all this buzz was happening around, people are driving to Cape Town, it can be done, what can be, what vehicle do you want? There was actually at some point I thought I can do it with the car I'm driving every day. It was possible. I mean, it was really possible, but I thought, oh, why can't I just make it more better? So the initial thought was, we were friends. We were around five friends. All of us were to go to 4 or 5 guys, I think. All of us were to drive to Cape Town. And that was the plan from the word go. So the only thing I did is I decided I can get this Land Rover and we can meet the budget of the other things. I mean, the Land Rover will remain mine.
Yes.
I will have bought it. I can use it for other things. But let me buy it. See, we are 5 of us.
Yeah.
We changa 1, 2, 3 to AKE, to fanya repairs. We build it a bit. I'll have to end the Cape Town. Only to be left alone. So, yeah, long story short, but yeah, nikaachwa peke yangu.
But that's not the first trip, the one where you went down with Nani.
That was the first cross-border trip, actually.
That was the first
It was the first one, 2016, November, December. Yes.
But then now there was the Cairo. We're talking about even Cairo.
Then Cairo. So when everyone fell off on the Cape Town one, very last minute, like 2 weeks to me deciding, do I call off the whole thing? I can't drive. I can't go alone. I mean, back then I was saying, I can't go alone. I just call this thing off because, I mean, I'm alone. How do I travel on road alone? So a common friend links me up with Nani Ungai. So in a week, we make a decision. The next week, we only needed 1 visa for South Africa. Back then, now you don't need it anywhere. So we got the visa. I mean, it was taking 3 days. And I mean, we were lucky. We have a bit of travel history. So it wasn't a big deal. So we got the visa for South Africa. And in 2 weeks, after meeting someone who is, I mean,
you're both strangers.
This is how men do it. I mean, men don't need a lot of time to.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they say guys will be at the garage. You've been talking with a guy you meet every Saturday, and you're like, you know that guy no, the other one.
What is his name?
What is his name? And you're like,
I don't even know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just say, guy.
Yeah, so that's what happened. So we ended up driving to Cape Town. Then 3 years later, 2019. Now, of course, after we drove to South Africa, now we,
Your
of
friends.
course, now we have a landing buddy. So he had a very good Land Cruiser, fully kitted for that.
But on the initial trip,
On the
it was
initial
still
trip,
the-
it was just a
the
pickup.
stock one.
It was a pickup.
Yeah.
He actually kitted it in South Africa.
Later on,
Later
he
on, yeah.
took it there.
Yeah.
I remember actually when we were doing the first trip, he would buy things and I had to carry for him in my Land Rover because he can't throw it in the pickup. It
because it
just
gets stolen.
disappear. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. Then, of course, after that kind of a trip, then 2019, I mean, that decision was made in Cape Town. We just decided, we go to Cape Town. 3 years
Done this,
from now,
done that.
can we do Cairo?
Yeah.
And that was it. That's how we just decided Cairo, 3 years time, which was 2019. We went to Cairo.
And when you went to Cairo, you went through Ethiopia or Sudan?
Zote.
No, Southern Sudan or
The Sudan Khartoum, not South
No,
Sudan.
Sudan Khartoum, yeah.
Sudan Khartoum.
Okay.
With its own drama, of course. Which
Actually, before we go north, I think there's 2 stories for the trip down to Cape.
yes.
You guys went through Mozambique.
Wow. I don't think it was a good decision. I think we were just itchy to try anything. And
That's why I'm asking, because I just want to know why did you decide that you were actually.
So what
going
happened?
through-
Because when we got, I think we just men have a way. When we got the
men do stupid things.
yes. So we got the South African visa in quite a record time.
Yeah.
Then we were like,
We have time on our
our
hands.
departure time is still, some days. Why can't we apply? Okay, back then we were being told you can get the visa on arrival, but we said, okay, why can't we try the Mozambique visa? I remember it was more expensive than the South African visa. So we said, okay, we have a few days. Why can't we just apply for the Mozambique visa? Then we try and go through Mozambique. So we applied, those, did they have an embassy or consulate? The visa is like written by pen. You pay for it like top dollar. It's just, so we were just trying, we can do Mozambique. There was no history of people who have gone through Mozambique. Everyone goes through Zambia.
Exactly.
What's Mozambique? Then we said, we can be the first ones. So we went through Mozambique. Only for us, tulitoka wapi? We were in the long way, no?
Malawi. Yeah.
Malawi, we do Malawi. Then we decide, okay, now it's time to cross to Mozambique. So we drive to the border. It's a border called the Desert, at the southern point of Malawi.
Malawi.
So at the border, I mean, we are used to borders. Just go, give your passport, it's stamped, you cross. So we get surprised to, you know, at the counter where I think we see borders here and we assume every border looks 30 feet.
Yeah.
So you go to this hall and that is where the passports are stamped. So there is this big table, the wooden ones. You know, the old school one is a wooden table.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So on the table, you can actually see like tens and tens of passports.
Mm-hmm.
Then as you look at those passports, you can tell they have money. Unajua venye madere wanapeananga karawa kitisha license
neka 50 bob ndani.
Cause unajua hiyo game venye inachezwa hapa. Cause ukimpatia bila pesa
ndani ya license.
Sasa ukipatia karawa nini DL bila pesa, arafikiri you don't know what do you mean? You must be joking.
You'll be like,
so that was us. So we give our passports. See, you give passports, stampiwe. And this guy is looking at us like, you know, he's communicating something. Can't you see what everyone is doing? Why are you just giving me your passport?
He's almost asking you, what is this for?
What are you giving me? What am I supposed to do? Because but we didn't know, because we are seeing passports, and most of them are for the locals, the guys who are either Malawians or Mozambique guys.
Yeah.
I think there are a few South African passports. So when he noticed that, then, you know, he quickly notices, oh, these guys they're actually traveling in a very interesting manner. They have their own vehicles. Their vehicles are registered in Kenya. So it became now, this is it.
Very nice.
Hapa ni kufinya. Kukamua. So interesting. It was around saa 5, saa 6 hivi. Because naturally, when I'm crossing borders, I try to do it early in the morning. Not really, but in the morning hours. First, you are sober. You are not tired. You are not exhausted. You can reason. Your patience is still, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like 11. The guy picks the passport, and he's giving us the looks of. And this is Mozambique, so they speak Portuguese.
Yes.
So first, we can't even have a conversation. So, and we sit and we're waiting. We're wondering, why is this guy not stamping our passports, man?
Yeah.
And people are just coming and going. You know, we are sitting and we're watching. It's a hall.
Yeah.
Then in that time, we are realizing everyone who is giving their passport, kuna kitu anaweka ndani.
Passport anaongeza ndani.
Kuna kitu inaweka ndani. Sisi hatukuweka.
Yeah.
Sasa after seeing, we are there for 1 hour, it's now like 1 p.m. going for lunchtime. Alafu tunarudi tunamuuliza, what bana, passport zetu? Kutuambia hizo mdosi ndiye anadeal nazo. Sasa sisi tuna deal na mdosi. Tunaambiwa ngoja mdosi is one dealing with your passports, the two of them.
So at this point, you're communicating in
science and trying to put some words in English which you can understand. Of course, when you say passport, you understand you are
smoke signals.
Everything. So lunchtime comes, they break for lunchtime and they tell us, no, come after lunch. And you know, they close for lunch, they go for lunch, we come after lunch, we ask for our passport, the boss is handling them. So the guy comes later on. This is past lunchtime. We arrived at 11, it's past 2. Guy comes with the 2 passports. He has already, you know, this time he was given, he's studying our travel history. So he checks, you guys have traveled. You can see visas from all over the world. And he's like, this must be a good client.
The kind we look forward to having.
Yeah, like, welcome to our country. You must be good clients. So the guy comes and says, you know, you need to... First, he gives us some funny reasons. What did he say? Like, you are not supposed to get the visa from where you came from. You should have gotten it from here. Why did you have a visa in advance? Just to complicate things. Like to tell us, if you got your visa from Nairobi, we can't allow you to come in. But it's a visa from your embassy. Come on. But he's basically creating an abuse there. An abuse in your crisis. An abuse some their case. So he says, you know, $100 everyone. You are like, what? How do you pay $100 to get to a country which was not even in your plans?
That is insane.
Crazy, yeah. But Nani was very interesting. He didn't even blink. The guy didn't even finish $100. Nani is giving me $200. And for me, he paid the whole. I think it was fed up.
I was like, we can't do this. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm like, you guys, we can negotiate. What do you mean? That time he's already paid, passport stamped.
Nani is an interesting guy. Nani is one of the most brilliant lawyers of ever practiced in Kenya. One of the most brilliant lawyers. We'll show you a picture of his car.
Yeah.
And then Enotafute presidential petition number 2013.
He did a lot of petitions for president's IBC.
Yeah.
Of course. Top shot lawyer. Nice guy. Very nice guy.
So
now you're in
Mozambique.
We're in Mozambique. A country we paid, I think for that trip, it was the most expensive visa. Of course, we had 2 visas, Mozambique and South Africa. So it was more expensive than South Africa. Then we get into Mozambique.
You have to pay another visa.
But yes, but then we don't even spend time in that Mozambique. We were trying to try because we drive that first day, it's past 2 p.m. So we get to the closest town just to, to spend the night. So that now the next day, we can figure where do we go, how do we spend the days in Mozambique. So the next day, we spend very close to the river. What's the river called? The one going through Zambia, whatever.
Victoria.
Zambezi goes through the way. So we spend that town, I can't remember the name, very close to the river. So for us, we are planning the next day, hey, man, we have to enjoy the country. So the next day, that day we spent in a hotel. So the next day, when we're having breakfast and we're telling those guys our plans, how we plan to drive down to what's the capital? Maputo. I was like, Maputo? How are you going to Maputo? We ask them why, but we're driving.
But it's a road. You just follow the road.
Like, you can't. You have to go in a military convoy. You have to hire the military to escort you. People don't drive here. You have to wait. Then you're asking, we are taking breakfast. It's late in the morning. It's like 9 a.m. I mean, it's a lazy day.
Yeah.
And you're asking, what do you mean? We need military to drive. They actually tell us from this hotel where you are in, for you to start driving, you need military from here. And we're like, we didn't get that memo. So now, then we ask them, so how is the military organized? They tell us there's a public military escort which happens every day. It starts at 10 a.m. on this side, and on the other side is for the guys coming this way the same time. So that in the middle, when you meet, the military hands over. They hand over to this other, because these ones know this other region. So they hand over midway. You go in the other military side, and you're like, and they tell us you're taking breakfast now. So I know you are late. You are late for the escort.
For the escort, yeah.
For the starting point, you are late. So what do we do? They don't know. When you get to where the military starts, you'll find a military barricade, roadblock. They are the ones who will decide
if you
whether they can allow you to catch up with the convoy because it was already left.
Yeah.
If they don't allow you, you have to wait for tomorrow. So we finish breakfast now, change of plan now, military escort, what happens? So we finish breakfast in a hurry. We ran to see if we can catch the convoy. Exactly where we were told, we found
the barricade.
The barricade.
And there's some military guys who we are talking in signs. We are trying to, So I remember we were writing. So when we were asking them, how fast can we drive for us to reach them? So they would write on paper the kilometers per hour because we can't communicate. The military guys is basically Portuguese speaking.
That time hakuna Google Translate.
Hakuna bana. Back then I think
hakuna Google Translate your time because you would just use Google.
I think it was there, but it was still very.
People didn't know how to use it.
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it was also still out there.
Yeah. So anyway, we try to communicate with the military guys there. They tell us, okay, we are allowing you, but you have to be quick. So they show in signs you have to be very quick to catch up with the military before it gets to the worst security areas.
And he's driving a Land Rover.
I knew that was coming. Yeah. Of course, Nani's car was fresh. It was showroom. I mean, the car was mshale. So he chomoka.
So he told you to go quickly.
To try my level best. Anyway, long story short, we caught up with the convoy. The convoy moves at a snail pace. I mean, slow.
Oh, so catching up is what you need to do quickly.
We need to do quickly because
of the
there is a section which they will tell us you can't allow yourself to drive through that section without being in the convoy.
Yeah.
So we catch up with the convoy. To date, I still have a video where I tried to overtake the whole convoy just to see how long it is. That thing was like what? 3-4 kilometers of a convoy?
Wow.
Because I tried to overtake, I took taking a video just to see how long is this convoy. It was quite long. So you have tankers from military in the front, in the back, in the middle, somewhere. They're tankers and they, they're doing what? 20 kph. They're slow because they are trailers. They are all kind of vehicles, personal vehicles of guys who are traveling that day and what, So that's how we...
And do you pay to actually join the convoy?
No, this is a public one. If you get a private one, specific time, you don't want to join the early one, or you want to go at a certain speed, or you want to travel later in the day, then most probably you'll organize a private one, pay for it. But this is for public good. It's what they organize every day. You want to go publicly, join the convoy.
But then now at 20 kilometers per hour, is it a very long distance?
It was. But that day, I think we just covered, very small distance.
Yeah.
So where we arrived that day, it was near a town called Manica. Manica is somewhere at the border between Mozambique and Zim. Yeah. So if you cross through Manica, you can go to Harare, you can go down to Nini. So the convoy ended somewhere in a town which was very close to Manica, which is a border town between Mozambique and Zim. So when the convoy ended, this is at night. The convoy ends like 7 p.m. Man, we have to look. You are tired because of the slowness. So you are tired. You haven't covered any distance anyway. You have been in a convoy. You can't, stop just to do your own things because you have to keep moving with the convoy. But they want to even for lunch. While you stop lunch, everyone stop. It's lunchtime. Cars off, people go to. It's a small village. Wanaenda kwa kiosk kula. So we stop for lunch. So we get to this town, and just the way men make decisions. We looked at each other and said we are done with Mozambique. In a minute, like we are done.
You're like, the mistake is done.
It was enough.
You've learned your lesson.
Learned the lesson.
All right.
Because then what we were being told, where we arrived, because now we had gathered information. So today is military. What happens tomorrow? We want to cover another distance as we go towards Maputo. We were to go towards, there is a big port city called... I can't remember the name. There's a port city before Maputo in between. So the next day we wanted to get there. And the guys tell us, no, there's another military escort for tomorrow to get to where you want to go. And we're like, no, it's never that serious.
Yeah. We're leaving. You checked out.
So we checked out through Manica, went into Zimbabwe the next
Back into Zim, you're like, bye guys.
Yeah.
And is that the most difficult country you've been to?
Actually not.
Now
you realize later on,
this was nothing. This was nursery. This was preschool.
So now let's go north. So now we are done with the south.
Yeah.
So the south, that was the hardest one.
South Mozambique treated those 2 days. I think we just
It's too much.
it's too much. Yeah.
We go north.
We've
Take us to
decided
Cairo.
3 years. No, it's D-Day. We are heading to Cairo.
Yeah, Cairo was. I think interestingly, most people don't know this, and I try to tell people, we are 2 of us. It's okay, because people asking, even family, you're going through Sudan. How many are you? I tell, no, we are 2 of us. We're 2 vehicles. Oh, you have come, and it's okay. You go. But driving to Cairo, I was solo, and Nani was solo, because in a way our days couldn't align.
Okay.
Nani had, I think he had some legal duties in South Africa. I think he was in South Africa the date we were supposed to leave. Then he tells me, please, Kim, just push it by a week. I will be done in South Africa. I'll fly back. The week ends and the work becomes more. He tells me it can't work. I'm still in South Africa for another week. So he tells me, let me release you. You proceed. I will, of course, atakachap na mimi. I know he likes that part. Yeah, akaniambia nita catch up na wewe ongoza. By the time we cross Ethiopia nini nita catch up. So that's how I left. I didn't know I'll get to Cairo alone. He will never catch up.
Once.
And he also drove alone, trying to catch up without catching up. Yeah, so that's what happened. So I left. This is 2019, December. November, December. I think I left around November. So, of course, through the beautiful road to Moyale. Then through Ethiopia. Ethiopia now is a different story. Those in the overlanding sphere know now going to Ethiopia is a different ball game. But back then Ethiopia was just nice.
Or now is a different story.
Now you can't go to Ethiopia with your car. It's impossible because of the war.
The Tigray.
Thing. I stayed in Tigray, for example, for 4 days.
You stuck there?
That time.
No, not stuck. Enjoying the place.
That time it was okay.
Wow.
It was the most beautiful because that's the most. It's like people here going to Turkana. Tigray is like Turkana. It's raw. It's virgin. It's cultural. It's cultural. It's and it's the farthest. I mean, it's a corner close to the what's the name of that country? Eritrea. So it's basically the Turkana of Ethiopia, sort of. You have to put it that way. So yeah, now I look at Tigray and I'm like, I mean, I spent days here. Now Tigray is what it is today. So anyway, yeah, through Ethiopia, then through Sudan, then to Egypt. Actually, not too many countries, but 3 countries, but massive. To cross those countries, massive countries. They're like subcontinents, but yeah. But it was a lot of drama. I think the drama for that trip, I think we like the drama. The drama for that trip was our visa for Sudan.
It must have been Sudan. It has to be Sudan.
Yeah. So before we left, because we had time, all this time we were shifting the dates, I remember I went to the Sudanese embassy twice. The first time I went to ask them, I need a visa, I'm going to Sudan. And they told me, no. Kenya and Sudan, one thing, you get the visa on arrival. Oh, really? Yes, you get it on arrival. And true, if you fly to Sudan, you get it on arrival.
Yeah. What they're not telling you is the road is not.
It's not
Sudan.
It's not. So then, because when we pushed our travel, I was waiting for Nani to clear his work business in South Africa. I decided, let me go back again to this embassy. I'm not settled with this on arrival thingy of visa. So I go back to the embassy again. Ilikuwa mali, Moi alikuwa anaishi wapi? Cabernet, what? Somewhere.
Gardens.
I don't know whether it's still there.
The road at the back.
It's still there somewhere.
Lots of embassies, yeah.
Yes. So I went back again and told them, look, I need some special discussion. I'm going by road. I'm not flying in. That's why I'm really requesting to get a visa because I'm entering by road. And they tell us, no, we can't give you a visa here. You'll get it when you arrive.
On arrival.
And because I was not satisfied, even the notice is here. And the notice, I still have it because I took a photo of that notice. That Kenyans, we have this with Sudan. It was both in English and in Arabic. They get on arrival. So I take a copy of that in me and I'm like, I've tried twice, so it should be good. Yeah. It wasn't.
Off you go.
Yeah.
Enjoy Ethiopia, and here comes the border.
Yeah.
You've arrived.
Well, you are now leaving Ethiopia. Welcome to Sudan.
Yeah. So this was actually after, I've gone through. Actually, I was coming from Tigray. Tigray through the Siemens Mountains. Ethiopia is very high altitude, especially the route I used from Tigray to come to the border with Sudan. Is a border called something. So that section is basically mountainous. So I drove from Tigray, I think several days, all the way to the border. I get to the border, and when I tell these guys on the Ethiopian side I'm going to Sudan, then as they're stamping me out, they tell me, but we can't see your visa for Sudan. I tell them, I'm from Kenya, we get it on arrival. They were not very convinced. This Ethiopian side, they're like, are you sure? Sudan, on arrival, does it work really? So they were a bit hesitant. Anyway, they stamped me out of Ethiopia. So I'm legally out of Ethiopia.
You go try.
So I'm officially out of Ethiopia. The car is basically, I parked the Land Rover that section is like no man's land. We are trying to clear things before you proceed to the other country. So I parked the car there, go to clear my, I always use a canet for the vehicle. I get it stamped out. So I proceed to the Sudan side. Not with the car. I want first to, because there are these fears the Ethiopians have given me that, I want a visa. So I decided, okay, let me go to the immigration before I even move the car any further. I go to the immigration, my friend. The guys have never had people receive visa on arrival. It was news for them. visa on arrival. They
When?
have never had it. Sudan, how? You get it? And even the Mzungus had visas because there was a big tourist vehicle which was at the border at the same time. These overlanding vehicles.
The trucks, yeah.
And they're telling me, you it's almost like telling me, wewe ni black kama sisi, unataka kuja bila visa. Na hao wazungu wako na visa. So I tell them, no, I try to defend, it's on arrival. I had a contact as a Kenyan in Khartoum, someone I knew. So I called, and they spoke Arabic. So these guys at the border, their English iko limited kiasi. So I called this guy, nikamwambia elezea hawa jamaa, Kenyans are allowed in Arabic now. They are allowed without visa. So akapiga story, akaniambia hakuna kitu hawasongi. Hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Anasema you must have a visa. Na wakakwama hapo. I mean, the border, such borders, inakuanga watu wawili watatu. They are the law. Wakikwambia wendi. By the way, pigia embassy, pigia nani, awendi. Wakiamua wendi. By the way, wendi. Yeah, so kizungu, because this is around, again, 11-ish. It's late morning. I'm trying to see if I can clear and cross. I tried until 5 p.m. Mpaka wakafunga. Still trying to see. Yeah. You guys just allow me.
And they did not want the passport in the passport.
No. Actually, for them, that was not even an issue. It wasn't. For them, they were actually surprised. Unakuja Sudan bila visa. Like, it's unheard of. I could see it. Because kuna wale wanakwambia, kuna vile unaweza fanya tukupatie visa.
They were genuinely shocked.
No, they were genuinely like, it
doesn't
happen.
It doesn't happen. Yeah.
You need a visa. And they actually gave me options. Kaniambia visa. Ukitaka, you can go to the embassy in Nairobi. You want the closest one? Go back to Addis. Get your visa. Yeah.
Don't tell me you went back.
This is I remember it was very close to Christmas.
Now. Yeah.
This is around, because I spent a lot of time in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is beautiful. So spend a lot of time in Ethiopia. So this is around the 20th, 22nd deck. It was around there. Then Christmas was on a very interesting day. Either Friday or Monday, I can't remember. So the weekend was supposed to be like 4 or 5 days. Yeah. If you are 25th and 26th. So they tell me, you can go to Addis Ababa. You'll get a visa. So actually this time now, I'm at the border. Guess where Nani is? Trying to catch up. Is in Addis Ababa. This time now. Yeah. It's quite a distance. Ethiopia is huge. Yeah. So if for example, I decided to drive from that border to Addis Ababa, I should have allocated 3 days.
What? Is it because of the Land Rover or because of how large it is?
It's large.
And it's mountainous terrain. So you're climbing, going down.
The military, the roads in don't have cops, they have military. The military stops you like every 10
and they're always checking you.
They will check everything. They are not in a hurry. So when you see the time, I mean, the fastest I would have done if I'm driving morning to evening, like 12 hours, at least 2 days, full days. Yeah. If I was to drive to Addis, I'll get to Addis on 24th of December.
Which means?
We have a long weekend, which is Christmas. Visa takes 3 days, so I'll get it on maybe 30th. When you count the working days, it wasn't adding up. Wasn't. So I alert Nani. I tell Nani, you are in Addis. Yeah. Get a visa. Don't even move. So that day, now we are talking, the day has ended. Because I've told him, let me try. If it works, I'll tell you it has worked. Come try. So the day ends. I don't get a visa. Remember, I was stamped out of Ethiopia, so I don't belong to any country this time.
Now you're just stuck.
I'm stuck. Yeah. But then I decide, now this is the time you make decisions, like, because the more you delay, the more time passes. So I have to make a decision. Do I drive to Addis Ababa for 3 days? Do I go back? Do I fly back to Nairobi to get a visa? Or what do I do? But there was a third option. I could actually fly to Khartoum and get a visa on arrival.
Take off from where?
Yeah, no, that's my next question. So you're at the border. So
the border.
How do you?
So I'm at the border. The border, there's a small town there called. There's a town at the border, not very close. Like what? So this time, Let me
And
take you
wait,
back.
this town you're saying is at the border, is on the Sudanese side or the Ethiopian side?
No, it's the way like a border is shared. It's like Namanga, the way Namanga crosses.
It's like Moyale.
So you'll find the other guys are
Yeah,
calling it different, but it's a
it's
border
one town, yeah.
It's one
Mm.
town. So now I am trying to figure out of these 3 options, I need to settle on one very fast before I lose time because of the holidays. Because I knew once they kick in, then you don't count a weekend. You count weekend plus 2 days of 25th, 26th.
Boxing Day,
it becomes like 5 days. So this evening, I make calls left, right, and center. I have good friends in the in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and yeah, this is a good time to say it's always good to
have a contact,
and also let the ministry know where you are. It can be a friend, it can be things happen. So I make a few calls here and there. I call my guy in Khartoum, and excuse me. So I decide I do my maths. Nikifly kupata visa Addis, itafika this the next day is the only time I can get to Addis. If I apply for the visa, I will have to wait for like maybe 3 days. Iprocessiwe. Maybe itafikia holidays, nitalokiwa out. If I fly to Nairobi, that's even a longer nini. Because processing it in Nairobi, then flying back again. But I can fly to Khartoum. So there's a smaller town, not the border town now. A town which is like 200 kilometers. That's like Nairobi to Nakuru, which is like a more developed town, and it has an airport. So what do? This night I'm planning all these things. I book a flight from that town.
But how do you get to the town?
By matatu.
So you can go into Sudan as a person
in the Ethiopia. Ethiopian side.
Ethiopian side.
I'm not allowed into Sudan.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Oh, sorry, I lost you there. So hawa jamaa wa Sudan, hawa Arabu, wameniambia you can't move in.
Yeah.
So remember, I parked my car next to the Ethiopian immigration officers. So out of those decisions now, you don't think about yourself alone. I have to think about the car. Because the car it travels with different papers.
Yeah.
So I think about myself and I think about the car. If I was alone, I would have just flown to Khartoum and continued with the journey. But I have a vehicle.
So you have to go and then come back.
So the vehicle, I decide where I parked it next to the Ethiopian immigration guys, I'm not moving it there. So I go, kuna wachi hapo, anataka chai. He was very happy. Oh, you want to leave the car for how many days? You don't worry. Ngapi, utaniona hii na hii. So the car, and it's in the border point. I mean, borders are one of the safest. I'll tell you about a story where I slept in the border in West Africa. So the car, I decide where it's parked, watch I car hapo. So I go back to the Ethiopian guy. They had already told me, wewe hauna visa. So nikarudi hapo nikamwambia, now you have to stamp me back to your country. Ethiopia is visa free for us. So no questions. Oh, you want to come back? Nikaelezea what has happened. I can stamp back to Ethiopia. So I can stamp back. So nika cross back to Ethiopia, the country now. I'm out of the border point. Nika cross back. The car I've left it where?
The border.
At the border point on the Ethiopian offices.
Yeah.
The car was already stamped out of Ethiopia. I did not need to stamp it back
into Ethiopia
because I'm not moving
You're not moving it, yeah.
So I leave the car there. Backpack, nikachukua bag, rent some accommodation. Your accommodation. Unaitanga hii accommodation ya pesa ndogo.
Logic.
Hiyo iko na slipper ya blue na ya red na imekatwa. So
it's like that. When a Kongoni, you are big friends.
Kabisa mko tu hivi. So I book a place. Hiyo jioni ni kutafuta means. Of course, one of the things I had to make sure ni laptop nimebeba. So that I don't have to do things on the phone. I can do on the laptop book it. Same evening, I book a flight. From it, nimekuambia iko 200 kilometers from there. So I try to see, nikichukua matatu. Now I can't move with the car. Remember the car, I don't want to move it back. Driving it is and for many reasons. First, I did not know nikifika Khartoum, wakikupatia visa ya one entry. You know what that means? You can't fly back.
That you can't fly back into Ethiopia because
you fly back to Ethiopia, the visa will expire. Will basically be utilized. So, if I was sure they'll give me double entry or multiple entries, I would have driven my car to airport,
Ethiopia.
to the airport,
Yeah.
because I know I'll fly back and drive from there. But remember, I've done my research. I've been told Khartoum gives single entry. There's no way you are getting
Multiple
No
entries.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, if I move this car here, it will force me to fly back to
Addis or
the
Khartoum.
country. Yeah. To fly back
Crazy,
to Ethiopia. That means nitastampiwa out na hiyo visa yangu nilipewa Khartoum
Ushatumia.
to be over.
Yeah.
But now ikiwa hapa.
Lakini
it's a
ikiwa
no man's
hapa,
land.
nikifika pale nipewe single entry.
Unaweza
I'll tell you that
gari
story.
yako.
All that story worked out. So I book flight ya saa 8 hivi. Mazee matatu ya kutoka hapo hiyo place unajua kwenda Nakuru ni almost 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
Nilifika at the edge of the flight like karibu ni miss flight. I traveled for almost 6 hours. Matatu inasimamishwa every stop ya military mnasimamishwa mnatoka
Ni wote.
So watu wakaniambia the matatu is a matatu kawaida matatu. Wakaniambia wewe tukishukishwa don't say you are not Ethiopian. They will search even more. Mtakuwa tukiona tumeshuka unashuka.
Tunaangalia.
Search. Sometimes they ask for documents. Now wakiuliza document they'll see I'm not Ethiopian. But it never created any. I mean, I have a stamp, so no issues. So we travel all the way. Nikafika matatu ikanifikisha karibu na airport, nikachukua tuk-tuk ama ni boda. Ikanikimbiza airport. Hiyo flight uzuri ilikuwa late, ilichelewa. That's what saved. Otherwise ninge miss flight. So nikapata imechelewa. I was lucky I had a bit of time. Kuchelewa, guess what is happening? I'm missing my connecting flight. Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you. This flight is not flying to Khartoum.
It's going to Addis.
It has to go to Addis. Addis is the hub.
How the feeling?
So he's taking me back to Addis. So I've booked a flight from this town to Addis and to
So
Khartoum.
like maybe you're going to like Siolo so that you get a flight to Nairobi
Yes.
to go now to like Dar or something.
So yes, good example. So you're in Moyale,
Yeah.
unataka cross to Ethiopia, unaambiwa pana enda utafute visa. So unatoka Moyale by matatu kuje Isiolo, ndio Isiolo kuna airport. Ndio you fly Nairobi na Nairobi kufly to that country. You get? So that's how it works. So I go, this flight may delay. Lucky for me, haijaniwacha. But that means I'll miss my connecting one in Addis. So I get to the flight. I think it's like 1 hour. No, it's actually maybe less than an hour ride. Get to Addis. Addis usiku. This is like 10 p.m. So the plan was at least by asubuhi nikuwe Khartoum, nistambiwe, nipewe visa nini, nitafute namna ya kuteremka. So I get to Addis like saa 4 usiku. Flight imefungwa, manifest. Actually I ran to the gate, nikaambiwa no, we already issued the manifest. You have to get to the next flight. I mean, there's no cost, but I'm trying to save time here. So they put me in the next flight. I think it was 5 hours later. Like 4 a.m. or something. You know, I pushed them to the wall to give me a few, luxuries at the airport. So I stick at the airport. 3-4 a.m. I fly to Addis to Khartoum. Khartoum ni kama Machakos country bus. Airport bana, Machakos country bus. Get to Khartoum. Khartoum, it literally looks like a bus stop. Unaona bells mingi, so there are a lot of Somalis flying from Eritrea all over the place. It just looks a bit like a place where people look homeless. Those who are coming in, it looks like very homeless.
It's chaotic. It's just,
yes, but people look really homeless. People are fleeing their country or something. The way the travelers were there, it just looked funny. So, fingers crossed nitapata visa
on arrival.
It wasn't no questions. I think it was what, $30 or $50. I can't remember. $30 to $50 something. I pay, get my visa. I try to negotiate. Please give me multiple entry.
Nothing.
It doesn't work. I get a single entry visa. So I'm in the country. I have a visa. Now kizungumkutu ni kwenda kuchukua gari.
I know you took a bus all the way to the border.
Right, chap.
Yeah. It's the most logical thing to
do. So from Khartoum, ni kubook bus. Hii ni asubuhi. Remember nimefika Khartoum like
8 a.m. or something.
No, it's like an hour flight. It's like 5 a.m.
It's
5 a.m.
Okay.
So it's very by flight. So like 5 a.m., get my visa is still darkish. I'm like, okay, you remember the contract I told you for Khartoum? Ndiye angeniokolea because huko ni Arabic. Kupata mtu anaelewa lugha nyingine ni
ngumu sana.
And remember, I have to book a bus. I don't know where to get buses to take me down to the border by bus. So all this time,
you call him,
this contact has already booked a bus for me.
Oh.
I've told him I don't want to spend because anyway I'm coming. Tutakuja kubonga nikirudi. Wewe nibukie bus. Nikifika niingie the first bus 8 a.m. irudi border. Nikikuja si tutakuwa na time. So he books a bus for me 8 a.m. So nimeclear airport, nimepata visa, nimechukua taxi, nimeenda akanipatia kuja hapa bus station nini ananingoja. So we go to the bus station with the guy. We go to the bus station. Sisi tunajua bus station 8 a.m. Basi nitakuwa kwa border by after latest. Sasa wacha story ianze. Basi haisongi ati tunangoja ijae.
La. It's a proper country bus.
Yes. I mean, I usually tell people wa Kenya tuko mbali and we don't get it. Yani hiyo bus station is what you would think you are living in Kenya.
It's what Machakos bus station used to be
in the 80s. Basi ziko, ulibukiwa ticket, it's showing you departure is 8 a.m. You are at 7 a.m. You usiachwe. I was at that bus station even at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Only to be told, by the way, basi
haiendi. Sio hii.
Haijapata wateja.
So nianze kushikanisha.
So now what happens? Who will refund you your money? What? Maybe I'm like, kama wewe jamaa wa Lamborghini. It's not the money I wanted. I wanted to get to the border.
Yeah.
See pesa. So anyway, they put me in another bus. All this time, by then nimetry kila kitu. Hata nilibook Uber. Ushabook Uber ya 200 kilometers. Ni kama kubook Uber ikutoe Nairobi kupeleka Nakuru. I booked an Uber. Nikibook, jamaa anakuja, anauliza unaenda?
Kuna
Uber.
And equivalent. It was Uber. There's something they call it an Arabic equivalent of Uber.
Yeah.
App. So, ama anapiga simu, unamwambia mali unaenda fikiri, are you
normal? Uko sawa?
You want to... That time is bringing like what? I mean, you calculate to be like... Sudan is cheap, of course. But that distance would cost maybe like less than 100. Maybe, I think it was coming around $70. But I'm thinking the time I'm losing, what
you're like,
let me just go. $70. I mean, it's okay. But the guy is like, how do I go to the 200 kilometers? Are we then?
A trip ya kurudi.
Then, he operates in town.
Yeah.
So 3-4 times we try Uber, nini, nothing works. So ni kurudi kwa zile bus tena. So they give...
Now it was 2.
It's afternoon.
Now it's like 4.
Yes. So luckily there's a bus leaving. They put me in that bus. Tukatoka. Haikuwa hata imejaa. Sisi tunajua tunaenda kwa boda. Kufika jani halfway. Wakasema mwisho wa safari. That's why nakwambia ni Kenya in 90s or something. Unajua ulikuwa unaingia matatu naenda mahali, inafika mahali inasema by the way tunafika mwisho. Ukicomplain pesa yangu nakwambia ndio hii. What do you do? In a country you don't speak their language, now you have been left somewhere in between. Ni kama ile example assume umetoka Isiolo. Na wachio mahali kama wapi? Mozambique or somewhere in between.
Between the two mahali tu.
Somewhere tu kule Trubi. Unajua
Trubi hapo.
Trubi wacho nikasoko kadogo basi imeamua hatusongi. Lakini now the driver was a good guy. He tells me, tutaenda kwa border. But what I do, I'll give you a refund. Then this is usiku sasa. It's like 9 p.m. Me, I thought nitafika border the same night. So that time akaniambia you can't get any transport to the border. We lala, amka asubuhi. Nikamuuliza nitalala wapi? I don't know this place. He shows me where to sleep. He gives me back the money which was
the
difference. Shows me where to sleep. Nikaenda kwa kibandaski nikakula. Hiyo food nilikula hiyo siku, acha nisiseme, lakini interesting food in kibanda place. So went to the hotel, nikalala, asubuhi actually the same dere hata kanionyesha mali nitachukua matatu za kuteremka asubuhi. Now those are not buses, they are small matatus like for 10-15 people. Asubuhi huyo mimi breko nikaenda kwa ile stage ya matatu ndogo, kaingia ya kuniteremsha asubuhi. So by saa 4 nilikuwa kwa boda. Saa 4 saa 5 niko kwa boda.
With you. Single entry.
Visa yangu iko kwa passport. So where do I go? Nikaenda
Pale
Ethiopia
kwa
sasa. Kwa Ethiopia nianze tena wanistamp in. Wanistamp out. Okay? No, Ethiopia have already been
Those are
stamped.
stamped you out when you
I didn't need Ethiopia. I was just going to pick the car.
The car.
So nikamwa before I pick the car, wacha niende kwa ofisi ya Sudan. Niwaambie niko na visa.
Ni kuingia tu.
Nataka naingia. Nachukua gari niingie.
It's the same guys who were there. So they remembered you.
Yeah, of course.
The three dudes.
Of course.
So they see, it's the same guy.
So I pick the car, come with it there. Nikamwambia niko na visa sasa. This guy was here yesterday. How does he have a visa?
Yeah.
How does he have a visa? So Sudan is very interesting. You get a visa, but you still have to go to a certain office to report after entering the country. To report, your country. Weird, eh? Umenipatia visa, but you're turning within 3 days. You have to go to a certain office and report
that you're still here.
Latu huko uliingia. So hapa kwa border apatia passport, wanaangalia visa. Ulipewa Khartoum. Au kwenda Nairobi. So you got it on arrival actually. And we told you it doesn't happen in this country. So I could tell
they were shocked.
They were a bit confused how to treat me. Because now they're wondering, how powerful is this guy?
He has a visa on arrival.
And he got it in Khartoum. How did he get to Khartoum?
He was here.
He was here yesterday. So they're trying to add things like, I could tell they're looking.
They want to find an issue, but they don't even know where to find it.
No, they're actually not finding an issue. They are worried on who I am. I could tell that's your worry. Like, how
did we mess up, big guy?
Did we mess up? He has a visa. It's not issued in Ethiopia. The way we told him go to Addis or go to Nairobi.
It's
in our own country.
Yep.
So I could tell they are trying to wonder.
Did you maybe send a guy who took it, got it stamped and brought it?
Who is this guy we are dealing with? How we refused him a visa, but he has one issued by our own authorities.
After we refused.
Yeah. So anyway, in that Nini, they just, allow me to get in. I go process the car. I remember when I was processing the car, it was now lunchtime. I find the guys at the car, of course, is done at the customs. This is migration. Immigration tushamalizana now. Niko na visa. Actually now, hii ofisi yao si kukuwa naitumia kufanya anything. Because I have a visa and I'm stamped in. I didn't need anything. Yeah. I was just alerting them. Nimeingia. So nikawaambia, instead of me kwenda ile place mnasemanga after niekeni I'm in your country. Wakaniekea. But in that, I can tell they are a bit worried how they treated me. Yeah. Now I have a visa from them. So anyway, they sent me to the customs, they process gari. Kwenda customs, nikapata military wanakula lunch. Wakaniambia kuja tukule lunch. My perspective of that country changed. The guys are friendly. Ukikataa chakula yao, they'll take offense. Like, how you just want... It's like, kuja tukule. Ukikataa is like, they take offense. Yeah. So, and ile senior kubwa, you basically wash your hands.
Then you share.
Dig in. So I wash my hands, just to be part of them. We kula. Wananipeleka kwa ofisi yao, treat me like, king.
Big boss.
Wananistambia nini, nothing, asked nothing, atinipat nothing. Just friendly guys. And they're military. They stamp me in. Vieko imestambiwa in. Mimi hiyo kwa land yangu.
So this time when you're flying into Addis, Nani is on his way already. He is already
Nani, done. So let's take steps. When I told Nani I'm stuck, and I told him there's no way you will enter, get your visa. The next morning, as I'm flying to Khartoum, Nani goes to the embassy. Because he's in
the
Addis embassy.
Yeah.
The Sudan embassy in Addis. Yeah. So anaamkia asubuhi kwa shamwambia kimeumana, wewe amka asubuhi enda kwa embassy. Na ukienda kwa embassy, don't apply for the 3-day one. Apply for the express one. Of course, every embassy has a rule. So you pay an extra, you get an express visa. Maybe a day or so. So nikamwambia ukienda, just get an express one. So asubuhi mimi nikisukuma na historia za Khartoum, yeye ameenda kwa embassy in Addis. Aka-apply. I think he got it the next day because he did the express one. Kaipata the next day. So both of us, now by the time I'm picking my car, niko na visa na yeye ashapata yake.
Him is starting to come up.
Him is starting to come up from Addis. Me, I've crossed into Sudan. So, yeah. So, that's how it worked. So, yeah. Sudan. Interesting. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. But I was saying, I think now after, in the same border where you're trading, so you go to the customs and these guys are so friendly. They are forcefully inviting you to have lunch with them. It's communal lunch. So the perspective starts to change. Hey, this country is why did I get such a
hostile reception?
Let me ask, the reason they don't know about the visa on entry, is it because Ethiopians don't have visa on entry?
Is it a relationship with the border on the other side, or is
you
it
try and find out why they were not even aware
so
of
I
that?
think it's everything is disjointed. You see even the visa, if you see their visa today, imeandikwa it's written by pen.
Oh, so it's just like the Mozambique and that.
Yes, so in a way it's not a systemized visa where they could have issued alafu ikwe the other guy can scan in a system na aone mahali issued. So basically they don't have a system which communicates. So that's why nakwambia atupeani visa.
So maybe even the flow of information
is not there.
It's non-existent.
It's not there. Yeah. Actually now, I was told, these guys they allowed, because the other option I was negotiating with, when I was calling my guys in Khartoum, nilikuwa nawaambia, ongeni na hawa jamaa Kiarabu, niingie,
nitaenda huko,
niifanyie nikifika Khartoum. Now, connecting the dots backwards, and I tried that, ningerudishiwa katikati.
By the military guys.
Wakikustom na una,
that's it.
They make
It's
the law unto
deportation
themselves.
now.
They send you back.
Yeah.
They can't listen to anything. So it was.
Tunaona ma story Twitter.
Huyu jamaa amedeportiwa.
Kim Musau.
The embassy is organizing repression.
He's been stuck for weeks.
Yeah. So now you go through Sudan.
I go through Sudan.
How is it going through Sudan?
The way, just
if there's a country I want to go back to is Sudan.
roads. How are they?
No, the roads are pathetic. That's why you take so much time to cover small distance. Like, for example, the trip from this border to Khartoum, it's more potholes than a road. And it's better to have a Maram road than a pothole
tarmac road. Yeah.
So it's pothole tarmac. So you basically negotiating all through, through potholes and all that. It's a short distance, but you take almost a whole day. So the roads are bad, but if they can't, I love Sudan.
Yes,
it's warm. People are just friendly. I think because we have a large community of travelers, so you hear everyone saying Sudan is a place where people will invite you for lunch, strangers. And if you say no, they won't be very happy. And it's not such a big lunch. They take bread. That unleavened bread. They take everything there is bread. So the guy is inviting you to lunch, but for him, that is his way of showing you how much they value. So just say yes, try what they're telling you to try. They have tea, that tea for Arabs everywhere. They have tea almost everywhere. They'll tell you, come, let's have tea. Just go have that cup of tea. It's one of that's very friendly people. Yeah. Very friendly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go through the desert, Khartoum, pyramids.
I went to Khartoum.
Kuna mashida.
Sudan as
you went to the pyramids in Sudan?
In Merowe. Sudan, of course, has more pyramids than
Egypt. Yeah.
That's never told.
Yeah,
beautiful pyramids. I think one of my many photos, the one I value for that trip, is a photo I took in the Merowe pyramids in Sudan. It's just, of course, I have photos from the pyramids in Egypt. But the ones in Sudan, they're just priceless. It's just a quiet place. It's not touristic. In Egypt, the place is commercialized activities, commercialized. These ones in Sudan, you don't pay nothing.
They're there.
They are there. Go see them. Actually, it's a camping. People camp there overnight. You go decide, I'm not going, I want to catch the sunset, open your tent, sleep there. It's a beautiful place. Yeah. So I went through Sudan into Egypt. Yeah. I think for me, the longest border crossing across my travels, all including the one I've done recently, is Sudan into Egypt. It took me a whole day.
Oh, Sudan into Egypt.
Sudan into Egypt. Yeah.
Again, modern. Or more of
bureaucracy.
It's bureaucracy. It happens for everyone. So you are told, definitely. Actually, that border, I arrived at what? Like lunchtime? They'd gone for lunch. The officials had went for lunch. So I arrived at the border. It wasn't the day I was planning to cross, because I told you I cross borders in the morning. But I was like, I'm here. It's like lunchtime. I can just try that. I can just cross anyway. I mean, so I go to the border. The guys told me, don't even try. You will be stuck in between. Maybe you'll clear one country. You'll not clear the other because they will close. They'll charge you for spending there, and they charge crazy for spending in between the border. So I told, don't even try. Don't start, because you'll not.
So it's charging you for being in between?
The border officials, because why you are spending in a region you're not supposed to spend. So I said, no, go back. Just spend this little town there. Come back in the morning. So this border, in all the crossings I've done, this is the only border I have used an agent. Is the only. I tell people I don't use agents in borders. I don't have any. If you tell me, nipatie mtu wa mkono wa border fulani, I have none. Zero. I have zero in all the countries I've crossed, even in West Africa. I do it myself. It's if you're not in a hurry, it's just fun. You learn a lot of things. You learn, and borders are very, unlike what people think. People in borders are very friendly. If they see you looking lost, they'll point you to the right place. No, don't go there. Start with this office. Someone will just point you and tell you, no. If you start there, you'll get stuck. Start here. Or you want to do a photocopy, go to that shop. People will just point you to the right direction, which is what the information you lack. So but we know this beforehand. I mean, actually in those groups, people say, if you have ever crossed Sudan to Egypt without an agent, please raise your hand. Zero. Crickets. It is not hard. It's unheard of. If you do that, first you have to be fluent in Arabic. And you have to be. And even if you won't cross, because it's like a cartel system. So when they realize you are doing it yourself,
they shut it.
They shut it for you. Yeah. So you got an agent, and you get the agents before. And I mean, they're known for those of us in travels. We know the names. We know talk to who you hear big names. Talk to so and so. If it's not at the border, talk to so and so. So I'd already arranged it beforehand. So I get there. The good thing is, they take or you tell you go. Sit somewhere, have tea, kula mandazi, they take your papers. They will always come to you to tell you sign here. You don't know what you're signing. Whether it's your
could be signing inheritance.
The thing is it's an Arabic. So sign here.
An admission. You're a terrorist.
You're a terrorist, yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So nikasai jamaa nakuja, mi nakula mabread, nini. I arrived at the border at 7 a.m. See, the next day, nilirudi ile siku nikaambiwa usijaribu. Na huyu agent wangu akaniambia usianze saa hii. Utafungiwa katikati. Kuja asubuhi 7 a.m. tuanze. Unaenda 7 a.m. unaambiwa wajaamka saa 3. Saa 3 border inafunguliwa pole. Saa 3 agent wangu
it's warming up.
Yes. Kachukua papers zangu akaanza process. I finished Sudan, I finished Egypt. By the time I was finishing Egypt, it was 3 p.m. Border. Whole day. In 3 p.m., the border crossing to Egypt has a section where you have to take a ferry into Ambusimbel.
Wait, you cross the Nile?
You cross the Nile or this dam called... it's basically the Nile and the dam. Aswan Dam. There's a crossing. They did the road. Kitambo, it used to be whole... You take like hours on the ship. But now there's a road, but there's a section you have to get on the ship. So the last ship is like they run at some point. It's the last one. So by the time I'm finishing, the only reason I crossed is because of the agent. The agent works within the system. So hata tukienda kuingia kwa ship, ananipitisha mbele, gari yangu mbele, ananiingisha kwa ship. We were the last one, and he wanted a ride in my car because he was going to that town in Egypt. So it helped. He's in the car. Then ananiambia we pita tu. Pita, tunaingia ship. This is like 4 p.m. 4 p.m. So the border is called Hadiwalfa. Then the next town into Egypt is called Ambusimbel. Ambusimbel is one of the major historic sites. The big those big sites are there. So Ambusimbel, I cross in ship. Ambusimbel is like what, a ship for what? 1 hour or less to Ambusimbel for the night now. Welcome to Egypt. Africa is full of drama, but we had to ship from Egypt. It's another long chaotic.
Wait, ship the vehicle.
We shipped, both of us. Now, of course, Nani, because we were staying for a while in Egypt.
You eventually now got him.
So once I entered Egypt, of course, now it was easy mode. It was now around, it's past Christmas time. Yeah, this is past Christmas time now. So I was in Egypt, anyway, again, it wasn't my first time in Egypt. So I've toured most of those touristic sites in Egypt before. So for me, it was just about, the drive. Let me enjoy the sites I've never seen. Because the last time I was in Egypt, I did the train from Cairo down to Abu Simbel and went back. So I did all those touristic sites. So this was just, enjoying the drive. So later on now, because we were staying in Egypt for several days, so now Nani caught up with me. They'll catch up nikiwa tulipatana Cairo. Tupatana nani Cairo, alinipata mimi nishafika, tukakaa huko. Then days later, we had to organize for a cars to ship back. Because we were not driving back. Because it's same country, same journey. It didn't make sense.
There's no need to do the hustle again.
Yeah. So shipping back now, it's another long haul of dealing with Arabs in the port system. Unajua port hata ukienda port Mombasa, I think those are some of ports are very controlled. So you have to get through a lot of security structures for you to be allowed inside the port, because you are not a clearing agent. You're not. So you basically are not supposed to be in the port.
And I'd imagine them trying to understand you're shipping your car back to Kenya is a bit difficult sometimes.
And also don't forget, they are blacks. Those are Arabs.
They are not. They don't consider themselves.
Yes.
So in Egypt, you usually know you are done with the port system. Ukiona number plate sikusema Egypt unapeangwa number plate ya Egypt.
Egypt.
Yeah, wanakupeanga Egypt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you live with it?
No. You when you are clearing out, now you leave it. So your story ya port, ile time utaona number plate wametoa. You're done.
Hallelujah.
Nashukuru Mungu.
Yeah. Ikitolewa unajua we are done. It's okay now. Yeah, but before itolewe
when you out.
Unazungushwa hapo port, leo unaambiwa kesho kuja tena. Unaenda unalala, unafikiri kesho. I changed my flight 3 times because I was to fly back.
Because of
the process wasn't ending.
Yeah.
So initially I told no. Once you sign this, the rest we can do without you. You can fly back. Then the next one, no. We took the purpose and said the owner must be here. So you are called back. So shipped back. By the time the cars were here in February, March, Corona happened. 2020 March. Pick the car, bring it home. Then you go, people are dying in Italy. It's happening in this world. Before you know it, the two people who were the first Corona victims
on TV
were somewhere on TV. That's why I remember. Yeah. So that's how the trip ended.
That is where we'll end this.
We're stopping there for now. You had only 2 episodes. This is 2 episodes we've done.
Yeah, I will. Hey, this was good.
This good. You guys, you're a storyteller as well. Not just Stretch alikuwa hapa alikuwa anaongea bana mpaka tunabambika na pia tunabambika. Unatubamba, good to touch. Yeah, so I think we're going to stop there for now. You're coming back next week. We'll tell you which day. Yes. And then we continue and then
we do part 2.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Itaisha, but fine.
At least
tutakata kiasi.
Hakuna kukata.
Wewe ongea
the full sema kila kitu.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Yeah. Kim, thank you so much for coming.
Good. Thank you so much. It's good telling these stories.
Yeah, I mean, these stories.
The
and also encourage you that if you want to do it, these are the challenges.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it, just know these are there, but it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Because see, it's like if I'm going south, unless I want to go through Mozambique, it's typically an easy journey. Yeah. And if I'm going north, get your visa.
At least we now know, get your visa. But the problem is, for him, get your visa in Addis Ababa, because in Nairobi, they'll tell you it's on arrival.
Yeah, so just go through Addis.
Go to Addis, get your visa.
Enjoy Addis while they're processing your visa for 3 days.
Actually, as a rule, I tell people, countries which have visa on arrival, assume that you require assume you require visa in advance. In short, if you see visa on arrival,
unless you're flying in,
be cautious.
By road, they don't allow you to have visa on arrival. For them, they know you must have a visa. So if you see visa on arrival, just go to the embassy, get a visa.
Again, that is where the important statement. Oh, you guys are going by road.
Hiyo ndio unauliza, yeah. I'll tell you a story about similar story. How it repeated itself in Senegal. Senegal is visa on arrival. It's him jamaa alikuwa hapa juzi by the way. The president. Yeah. But even from before, for Kenyans, if you fly to Senegal, you get visa on arrival.
Next week,
when you drive.
Next week, West Africa, visa on arrival.
Kalasinga, Vanilla, Alpha Landrover,
Fantastic.
In case.